Okay, good morning YouTube. Just did a video about 10 minutes ago about a new cologne that I got. Trying to branch off in some other things, you know how it is. But now I'm going to get back to the watches. This one I've already reviewed in a previous video, but it was one of my first videos where, you know, I did it from the neck down. I didn't personalize the videos, and you know, these newer ones, naturally I'm always in the video. You see what I look like. This is my face. There's a face behind the voice, and I only did that because one guy was like, "Hey, it'd be really nice to see, you know, you as a person," and it definitely personalizes the videos, and of course the I don't know, the subscriber count definitely went up. So anyway, I'm just redoing this video with a watch that I just absolutely love. Again, if you're new to my channel, like I start off on every video, basically I do watch show and tells. I don't really call them reviews, but I guess they are kind of like reviews. I'm giving you my unbiased opinion of these watches. I've been collecting watches since I was a kid, and you know, I got into the Invictas probably about, I don't know, 2 years ago. And I just, although I've slowed down a little bit right now because I have other things I need to focus on, like, you know, my car needs a clutch. You know, and honestly, not putting that aside too, it's just not a lot of ones I just really want to pull the trigger on getting right now. I have so many of them. Take a little break, and I'm reviewing the ones I have, and they're going to keep coming out with new models and all that stuff. But anyway, I love the Invicta brand. I love the big, chunky, heavy dive watches. They really, in my opinion, they have the designers making these watches, come up with these designs. Just really, they really are unique, and they really have some talent. There's no other watches like them out there that are really this unique for this price point. And again, naturally, I'm going to always get the haters on there commenting what I now call watch snobs, where they want to talk about Invicta being garbage and talk about Rolex, which they don't own. And they can say they own it, but they don't. And maybe a few of them maybe do, but for the most part, anybody who, you know, has the money to buy a $5,000 watch probably isn't wasting their time getting on YouTube bashing on other brands. I mean, they really must have a very miserable life if that's what let's see, they're searching for something and they're watching something that they don't like and they're commenting on it. I don't know, it just seems like a big waste of time. Like I don't like let's see, what don't I? I'm pretty open-minded, but it would be like me not liking a certain car brand. You know, like let's just say, for instance, man, I really can't stand Dodge, which I like Dodge, by the way. But let's say I really can't stand Dodge, and I'm going to go down to the Dodge dealership, waste my time going down there and test driving the vehicle, checking it out. You know, right off the get-go, I can't stand Dodge. I don't like them. But I'm going to go in there anyway and hang out with the salesman, look at the car, take it for a test drive, get a brochure, leave, and then go home and talk about how much I hated the car. Well, you know, I just wouldn't waste my time doing that. I have other better things to do. But we know that those people who, the watch snobs, do not have anything better to do, and that's why they feel the need to make comments. Which, I mean, honestly, like, there's not many people that make comments, but you get a few. And of the millions of, you know, people that watch, well, not million, well, I'm almost up to 1 million views. Of the thousands of people every day that watch my videos, very few have anything negative to say about Invicta. And obviously, Invicta on a whole is a great brand because they're doing extremely well. And moving on to just one of their products right here. So the one we're going to be talking about today is the Noma 5. Now, this is one of my first Invictas. The first one I got was the Venom, and then I went ahead and got another Venom, and from there I just kept, you know, buying more and more watches, and every one I've had I've been extremely happy with. Again, if you're new to the channel, check out the other videos. There's been a few sellers who on eBay who I purchased from, who mainly Invicta Outlet, which, you know, do me wrong once, I'll keep talking about it. They just sell things that they call, not all of them, a lot of them, some of them they sell. Get a little sip of my coffee. Don't make fun of my cup. They sell brand new watches, but a lot of them also they sell ones that are called, you know, factory seconds, or they call exactly what they call them. They call them showroom models, where they say they were on a showroom somewhere, and they got like little wear marks, people trying them on, and they're selling them. But that's just not the case. They are not showroom models. I don't know where they get them from. You know, whether they get them from. I suspect they get them from somewhere that these watches come back that were either damaged, somebody had them, returned them, and they can't sell them for, you know, full pop, but somebody will still buy them. And I bought 3 from them, and of those 3, only one watch was I got it and it was like, okay, this is like 99% perfect, and I was happy with it. But the other ones, I've heard all kinds of horror stories, and what sucks is just, you always get your money back, of course, because you're protected through eBay, but just the time frame of looking for the watch, finally deciding to buy the watch, and then getting it, being disappointed, trying to finagle away, maybe I could fix it, maybe you can, maybe you can't. Then you think about, maybe I'll take it to a jeweler, see if they can fix it, because you want the watch so bad. And a lot of times you buy from these places because other people don't have the watch in stock. So you're like, that's what I did. There was a Sea Hunter I wanted, and a Grand Arsenal, and an Invicta Venom I wanted really bad. That they were kind of like, one was discontinued, the other ones just you couldn't find anywhere, and this guy had them. And they don't actually show you pictures of the watch, and I emailed them, tell me exactly what's wrong. Oh, minor scuff, but I had ones that were dropped. I had ones that the band was completely broken. Like, I mean, they were never even inspected coming out of the factory. So definitely stay clear of that seller. There's so many other sellers out there that you'll have good luck with. There's no reason to take the risk. I mean, if a guy's gonna be dishonest on a watch that's slightly damaged, he's not inspecting his products. And it's just there's just the potential there that you could be disappointed and have to deal with sending it back, waiting for your money. And let's face it, this guy, his top priority is not customer service. I mean, it takes I think it took almost 3 weeks for me to get my money back. So just stay clear of that one. But on a whole, there's lots of other sellers you can buy from on eBay that are fantastic. So, and you can check out my other videos about some of those sellers. But as far as this one here, I bought this watch. I believe I got it from one of the good sellers on eBay. I forget the name right now. I think it was E-Watches, I think it was. And the price is right. And I was so impressed. The watch is so cool. I saw it right on TV somewhere. And when I first got it, I'll just show you kind of a couple close-ups here. This one is, let me give you the model number first before I continue to ramble on. This one here is the 12904. Again, Invicta Sub-Aqua Noma 5. For those of you who don't know about this, the Nomas, there are 5 different styles, 1 through 5 naturally, and they're all really cool. I have the Noma 3 and I have the Noma 5. Noma 5 is definitely my favorite. It's a thick, chunky watch. This one is a COSC, Certified Chronograph Movement. What that means? What does that mean? I believe that a certified chronograph movement has to keep accurate time to a certain second or minute per year. I believe that's what it is. You can look into that. I don't want to bore you with all that. But it's basically supposed to be a much more accurate movement. I really don't care if it's off. I have to keep, if I had a watch that every 6 months I have to readjust it, that doesn't bother me. I'm concerned with how it looks on my wrist. Does it tell time? Yes, it does. And, what kind of, how's it feel when you're wearing it? And this is just, when I first got it, I gotta say, because I was used to the Venom, and I believe that before I got this, I might have had a Grand Arsenal. And I was just a little disappointed because it just didn't look, it wasn't like a huge watch. Like, it is smaller than the Venom. It's about a 50 millimeter, whereas the Venom is about a 52. And that little bit made a difference, and I wasn't too sure until I put it on, and I really started looking at the watch. I mean, it's got so much detail in the band. Like this step-down 3D band, they call it, I think. I don't really know. The pushers are amazing on this thing. They actually fold out. Let me try to do this here. Get a good angle here. Your crown folds out like this, like a little butterfly tab. Naturally, you spin it. And then, of course, the pushers, when you turn these, the pusher, it basically extends and retracts out from the case. Let me just go ahead and show you there. It's kind of hard to do this. I apologize. But you'll see it kind of popping out there. See? Right there. You wind it on down. Really neat pusher and crown system on this watch. This one here, you have a furnace blue decorative design in the back with an exhibition back, which is really quite attractive. And it is a pretty thick, chunky watch. And then you got like the skeletonized face. Really a sweet watch. Really glad I got it. I've been wearing this one a lot lately. I'm going to go ahead and throw it on the wrist. Again, if you're new to my channel, one thing I do, that's the whole reason I started doing these videos, was because I can show you what the watch looks like, and anybody can do this, on the wrist. And I show you what a guy my size, my weight, about 175 pounds as of today, 7-inch wrist, and about 5 foot 8 inches tall. So you can see what a watch looks like on a guy my size, my height, my weight, my build. Let me get back a little bit so you can see it a little more. One guy commented that I didn't show the watch enough on the wrist, so I'm trying to appease my audience. Just a bold, beautiful watch. You can see how high it sits on the wrist. Do a little more coffee drinking here with the watch for that gentleman who said I should show the watch a little more on my wrist. As far as size is concerned, I'm going to read just a little bit off the site here. The movement in this one is called Swiss-made ETA 251.233 COSC quartz chronograph. They call these screw-down function pushers. It's a 50 millimeter case by 21 millimeters in thickness. That's as thick as your Venom by 1 millimeter less. Bracelet measurement 9 inches long by 28 millimeters in width, and of course the weight on this one here. It's not a pound. I should start weighing these things. I did in a couple videos. But it is a heavy watch. Not as heavy as the Venom. Venom, I think they say, is about a pound. I'd say it's maybe like 13, 14 ounces. Still very heavy. Very comfortable to wear. They're all pretty comfortable. I will say when you start getting involved with the bigger ones, with the bigger pushers and crown, sometimes they do dig into the wrist a little bit. So that could potentially be a problem for somebody who maybe isn't used to wearing something this large. But on this one here, because your pushers are they're kind of tight to the case. There's no interaction between your wrist and the pusher, so you're not going to have that problem with this watch. Grand Arsenal, Sea Hunters, you definitely will. You wear them every day for a week, you're going to get a little bit of a wear on your wrist there. Mine, I had a little bit of a callus there. I still do. It's kind of gone down a little bit, but it's not a big deal. You either like this style of watches or you don't, and if you don't, then you don't wear them. If you like them, it doesn't matter what's going on. Like, it don't matter if it hurts a little bit. I love these watches, so this is what I wear. I like having a big chunky watch on the wrist. I feel like naked if I don't have a big chunky watch on the wrist, and I love getting the compliments that I get with them. And just, one thing about watch collectors, like at my work, I'm always seeing people come in with like Nixons and Invictas I don't have, and it's really cool just kind of to compare a little bit. I gotta say, not too often do I see a lot of people coming through there with these big bad boys, but it's just because I don't know about them. Or maybe it's too big. I mean, everybody's different strokes for different folks, you know what I mean? What else about this watch? Water resistance to 1,650 feet. It does have, just like the Hydromax on the side here, a helium release valve, which I'm not really sure how that works, but I'm sure I'm sure some of the people that watch these videos have more knowledge than I do, and so go ahead and put a comment on there, or you can look it up. Got your safety clasp, your flame fusion crystal, of course, all stainless steel, and again, this model number is 12904. That's about it, really, about this watch. I mean, just it's definitely one for the collection. I definitely want to pick up the Noma 4 eventually, and they make this one in the gold too. I even consider getting this one in the gold as well. But definitely a world-class watch. It's probably one of the most unique watches that I've seen. And putting that aside, they have which I'm going to review in a couple weeks here. My buddy just picked up, and I've been wanting to get one for a while, and I will get one eventually. The Invicta Hybrid. They call it the Venom, and that's what's kind of hard about some of these Invicta watches. Like, I've seen watches that are really almost considered, in my opinion, like completely different watches, just like that brand new Sea Hunter 3, I call it. It's not really what Invicta calls it. It's not a Sea Hunter 3. They do have a 1, they do have a 2, but this one is a redesigned full-size Sea Hunter, and it's completely different. I mean, you got the same case, but the geared bezel that it has, and you can check out my video on that one, and the pushers are totally different, and it just makes the whole watch like a completely different watch. And so they should call it a Sea Hunter 3, but right now they just call it a Sea Hunter, and if you don't know the model number, you can't really find it. And that's kind of what they do with some of their watches. Like, the Hybrid is not a Venom watch. The only thing that the Hybrid shares with a Venom is it has the Venom 2 bezel. Other than that, it's got a reserve band. Is it reserve band? I believe it's a reserve band. It's a different Invicta watch. I can't think of the name. My buddy's always talking about it. But anyway, it's a totally different band that's on the Venom. The case is a case and cradle. Totally different. And then, of course, it has the Noma 5 pushers and lugs on it, pushers and crown, and then a completely different face. It's got the master calendar. I mean, it's a totally different watch, and it's called a hybrid because it's got several watches that they've combined cool parts and put them into one. But You can find it under hybrid, but Invicta doesn't actually list it on their site as the hybrid. It's still listed as a Venom. So you don't really, it's hard to find these things. So that's why I think my video is very helpful for people, because it kind of opens up doors to different watches that you may not necessarily have came across. So there it is, folks. That is the Noma 5 by Invicta. Just a world-class watch. Again, addressing the haters. If you don't like it, just shut up. But most of you do. So there it is again on the wrist. Go ahead and take it off for you. Get a little more close up. Kind of see some of the detail there. It's the phase. And again, like I was saying earlier, I started these videos because I saw a guy, who went, before I bought this watch, he was doing a review for this watch. His was a little bit different, had a different movement. It was a little higher end Invicta watch with a blue bezel. And his was a very basic review, just him talking about it, just like I'm doing. Very impersonal, just, very informal, I mean. And he just talking about how much he liked the watch. And his video really made me want to get the watch, because he was kind of a similar build to mine. It just looked huge on his wrist, and I was like, wow, that thing is beautiful. And so that's what I do with my videos now. Makes it easier for you to make a decision on purchasing these watches, seeing it, to see what it looks like on the wrist. And of course, naturally, I do the side-by-side comparison. So I was going to do one of those today, but I don't remember which ones I've done, which ones I need to do. So I don't really want to do any kind of duplicate videos. I did want to do this one again because the other video was just right when I first got going. So I just wanted to do it with my updated style of making the videos. So keep checking back. Really appreciate the support. Again, remember, you can help support the channel by, if you're going to make a watch purchase. If you're not going to do it from eBay, that's okay too. I mean, I'm just happy I can help you, get some of these watches on your wrist. If you are going to make a purchase through eBay, it definitely helps support the site. If you go to PHATKATWatches.com, click through those eBay links, that'll take you to eBay just like you would if you went there on your own. And there is a kickback that the site gets from purchases made on eBay. It doesn't have to be watches; it could be anything. So it does actually help support the channel. It pays for the server fees for the site. It pays for my time, of course, to get these videos up and going. It helps to motivate me to keep moving forward and making them. And most importantly, it helps to fund the Watch Invicta Android watches in general addiction, mainly the Invictus. It helps to feed that addiction, and I can upload more videos. So again, thank you very much for your support. I love getting the comments. I love hearing about you guys looked at one of my videos, went ahead and made that purchase on that Invicta watch. And I love hearing about when you're waiting by the door for the UPS guy to show up. So keep those comments coming. Keep making those Invicta watch purchases. Keep sharing your stories with me. I do love it. Naturally, you'll notice you won't find any negative comments on my channel. Sorry, haters, if you're going to make a comment that's negative and disrespectful to all the thousands of people who enjoy these videos and made a decision to purchase these watches. I don't tolerate any kind of offensive behavior on the channel. And so you can just go ahead and make your comment. I go ahead and delete, and then I block and ban you from the channel. So it's just a waste of your time. If you have, now, not to say if you have had a bad experience and it's polite and respectful, I'll definitely put it on the channel, because all these experiences help people. Maybe you had an experience with a seller that you'd like to share. No problem. I'll go ahead and put that on there. So again, thank you very much. Remember, subscribe to the channel, and have a great day.